sun rays are vertical. Now, as we move from equator towards higher latitude, from low latitudes we are moving towards higher latitudes. The sun rays are becoming slant. They are becoming more and more slant. Okay. Now see here. Here the sun rays are vertically and they are more concentrated. So more heat will be there. But here the sun rays, they are slanting and they are getting distributed over large area. They are getting distributed over large area. Therefore, heat will as well get distributed over large area. So net amount of heat available. It means net heat per unit area will be less in higher latitudes as compared to low latitudes. So net energy available per unit area will be less in high latitudes as compared to low latitudes. So as we move from low latitudes towards higher latitudes, the net energy per unit area will keep on decreasing. You can take one example. Okay. For example, you are holding a torch. You are holding. Now take a sheet and you see all the light is concentrated over a small area. Okay. And this is bright light. Now you start tilting the sheet. You start tilting the sheet. You see the light is spread. Light starts to spread. Light starts to get distributed. And it becomes less bright, less bright, less bright. It becomes dull and more dull. This is clear. So it is getting distributed over large area. So net energy available per unit area will keep on decreasing as we keep on tilting. Same happens with the Earth as we move from low latitudes towards the higher latitude. This is clear. Or one more way I can show you. So low latitude. Yes.
Sir, in geography, which chapter is coming for test?
Okay. Whatever we study, they all are coming will be in test. Which test are you asking?
Sir, that will be held in
Oral.
test.
Oral. Okay, till whatever we study, that all will be there in oral. Okay. After the first term, whatever we have studied, that all will be in oral. Okay.
So 11th
So now,
and 12th. So it means
again,
11th and 12th.
11th chapter we have just done. Atmosphere and structure and its composition we have done. Insulation we are doing now. We have we'll complete in 1 or 2 lectures, and then next chapters will be start. Atmosphere, pressure belts, and winds. That is very interesting chapter. Next chapter.
Okay.
Okay. Now one more way I can show you. Take 3 sun rays equidistant each other. Okay. Take again 3 rays same way, equidistant from each other. Okay. Now see here. These 3 rays are concentrated over small area. Here, large area. You can also sense here. These 3 rays, they are concentrated over small area. So more heat is there. And the same 3 rays, same equidistant 3 rays, they are distributed over large area. So energy per unit area decreases. Have you understood the concept now? How the heat varies with latitude. This is one way. Now second, again with latitude, what happens? The atmosphere is less thick. So here, if sun rays, they have to pass through the atmosphere to less extent of atmosphere they have to pass on low latitudes. But as we move towards high latitudes, they have to pass more through the atmosphere. Thickness of the atmosphere increases because thickness of the atmosphere is quite constant, but for the rays it increases. So they have to pass through more extent of atmosphere. So more light is absorbed or reflected back. When they have to pass through more through that. Is this clear? So these are the 2 reasons how latitude acts as a acts for the distribution of temperature. Is this clear? First, the slanting rays. Second, the more in high latitudes, more extent of atmosphere rays have to pass, have to travel. Okay, latitudes are clear. Okay, there's one correction here in latitudes. Okay, page number 104 in latitudes. See here, hence the heat of these rays is more intense. Have you got that line? First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth,
Yes,
seventh,
sir.
eighth, ninth. Now check the ninth line, but in high altitudes. But in high altitudes, right? Latitudes there. Instead of altitudes, write latitudes. Right? Latitudes. Okay. Now, second, we discuss altitude. Okay. So, see here, what is happening with latitude? From low latitude to high latitude as we move. The amount of heat energy decreases. Same happens with the altitude. More high we go with altitude, more high we go in the atmosphere, the heat decreases. So altitude mimics latitude. So what is happening as we increase the latitude? Same will happen as we increase the altitude. So altitude mimics latitude. Altitudes copy latitudes. Okay. So see here, what is happening with latitude? So the heat from the sun, that is in the form of shortwave radiations. So most of the atmosphere is not getting heated directly from the sun. Now what happens? The earth get heated first. The earth's surface get heated first. Now earth being a cold body, it will radiate energy again in the form of long wave radiation. And because of this long wave radiation, the atmosphere gets heated. That's why temperature decreases in troposphere as height increases, as altitude increases. So what happens? It starts to radiate. So through radiations, atmosphere get heated, and the air lying near the surface, it get heated by convection, by molecule to molecule transfer of heat. So the air lying near the Earth's surface, it get heated by convection, and then little bit by convection, then convection happens that we have discussed, or more and more we'll discuss it afterwards. So the air get heated, it becomes light, it expands, it moves, it rises up, it again expands, it keeps on expanding, it cools down, it comes back. Again, it gets heated, again, the circulation continues. This is how the cyclones, anticyclones are formed. We discussed that in wind system. This is clear? So, see here, the atmosphere is mostly heated by convection. This is near the surface. You can write there, near the surface. The first, second line is there in altitude. The atmosphere is mostly heated by convection. That is near the surface, you write. Okay? Near the surface. Near the surface, it is heated by convection. Then by convection, it gets heated. So see here what happens. This is clear one region. That is from the ground, the atmosphere starts to get heated. And one more thing. This air near the ground is more dense as compared to air next layer lying above it. So as the height increases, density of air decreases. As the height increases, density of air decreases. As the density of air decreases, the heat capacity as well decreases. That's how temperature will be less as we move up in the air, up in the altitude, because air starts to get rarefied. It starts to become less dense. It starts to become more rarefied. So heat holding capacity as well decreases. So temperature decreases as we move up in the air. Altitude is clear. Okay, now we discussed in temperature inversion. Okay, normal lapse rate we have discussed. Normal lapse rate. NLR we have discussed. Normal lapse rate. What is normal lapse rate? That as we move up in the air, as we move up in the atmosphere, altitude, what is happening? Temperature is decreasing, and at what rate it is decreasing? 1.6 degrees Celsius per, okay, 166 or 167 meters, or 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer. 1 kilometer. Okay, it is 1 degree Celsius only. Okay, 1 degree Celsius, there is a decrease of temperature by 1 degree Celsius for every 166 or 167 meters, or there is a decrease of temperature by 6.4 degrees Celsius per kilometer. Okay, this is our normal lapse rate. This is the normal behavior in troposphere. That is, temperature is decreasing as we move up in the air, as we ascend or as we move up in the atmosphere. This is clear. Now, if temperature increases as you move up in the air, if temperature increases, that means something opposite to the normal lapse rate is happening, and that is called as temperature inversion. That is called as temperature inversion. Something invert of that a normal lapse rate is happening. And how it happens? And when does it happen? There are conditions for this as well. So mainly it is seen on mountains. Mountains, upland, highland we have, the valleys we have. So what have, and it mostly happens on night, cold nights. Cold winter nights, it mainly happens. Cold winter nights, mainly it happens. When the air is not flowing much. So air is silent, and it happens mainly in cold nights, winter cold nights. So what happens here? During night, what will happen? The ground get cold. The ground get cold. Now the air near the surface will as well become cold. It get cold. Now as it cools, it becomes dense. This air becomes dense. It flows down, and it sits on the valley. It flows down. It sits in the valley. So now what will happen? This air is more dense than the air lying above it. Okay. So this dense air will remain in the valley. It can't go, it can't rise. Now its temperature is less as compared to this much. So we can say temperature is increasing. So this cold air, it flows down in the valley, and it being dense, it remains there. And it is cold as compared to the layer above it. So here we can see the temperature is increasing as we move up. And this is called as temperature inversion. Okay, so there is no movement of air. That means it will remain in the valley. So conditions are, it should be cold winter nights. There should be no or very less movement of air, so that no convection current takes place. So this dense air, this cold dense air will sit in the valley for many days. That's why mainly the farming is done on the slopes rather than in the valley. If it is done in valley, what will happen? It is very cold. Frost bites will happen to the crops, and it will damage the crops. So mainly the orchards are there. They are being cultivated, or their farming is being done on the slopes, not in the valleys. Because here frost bites may happen. And this is the reason why mainly the houses are not in valley. They are either on the slopes or on the tops, not in valley. We don't make houses in valley, or else very cold will be there. And you will suffer from cough and cold always. Okay? Is this clear? Temperature inversion? Okay? So 2 points we already discussed. Inversion temperature we discussed. Now distance from the sea. We discuss distance from the sea. Here we have the oceans. Ocean or sea, we can say. This is our land. Okay. These are the coastal areas. As we move more distant, we have the continental type of climate. And here we have equable maritime climate. What does it mean? We will discuss now. So what happens here? During day, oceans get heated, land as well get heated. Which will get more heated? Land have less heat capacity, so it will get heated more. So same heat is available on ocean and land. But to rise the temperature of land as well by the same amount of temperature, we require more heat in sea. It requires more heat for sea to rise by the same temperature as that of land. Okay, just give me 1 second. Okay, so one thing you see, water and land. We require more heat for sea to rise by the same temperature as that of land. That means if we give even a small amount of heat to land, its temperature will rise more as compared to sea. So now see what happens during the day. Heat is there on sea as well as land. So temperature rises here as well, here as well. But rise of temperature on land is more as compared to sea. So that means air above the sea, it is more cold as compared to the air above the land. So air above the land, it gets heated, it rises up. So this cold air, it moves towards the land. It moves towards the land. And now this cold air will moderate the temperature here. Okay, it moderate the temperature here. Because of this cold breeze or sea breeze, we say, because of this sea breeze, temperature here won't rise much. Okay. So there will be very less temperature range, that is temperature difference between day and night will be very less in coastal areas. There will be very less difference in temperature in coastal areas because of effect of sea. Okay. More you can see here. Okay, at night what will happen? At night what will happen? Land get cooled fast as compared to sea. Land get cooled fast as compared to sea. So air above here will be warmer, it will rise. And land, air from land will blow towards the sea. That is called as land breeze. This is happening at night. Okay. So the area which are lying near the sea, the area which are lying near the sea, those are the coastal areas. They have very less difference in the temperature of day and night, of winter and sun, of winter and summer. So that is diurnal range of temperature. That is difference between the temperature, highest temperature of day and night. And the annual range of temperature is very less in coastal areas as compared to interiors of continent. In interior continents, what will happen in summer or during the day? Temperature will be high, and during night, temperature will be very low. So here the difference in the temperature, highest and the lowest, that will be very high. So more in interiors of the continents, we have severe winter, very cold winters, very hot summers. But near the sea, near the oceans, we have very moderate climate. Summers are not very hot, winters are not very cold. That means the temperature difference is very less. Diurnal or the annual range of temperature is very less in coastal areas as compared to the interiors of the continents. So here we have only the equable kind of climate, that is not very much difference in the temperature, equable, or maritime, that is near the sea. We call this climate as maritime or equable climate. But here we have extreme type of climates. Summers are very hot, winters are very cold, because interiors of the continents are very, very far away from the water bodies, from the sea or ocean. Is this clear? Any doubt till now? Okay, distance from the sea.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, could you please explain the last paragraph of inversion of temperature?
Inversion of temperature. So wait for that. We'll discuss this in slope of the land as well. Okay, we'll discuss there. Slope of the land we discussed. We'll discuss temperature inversion again. Okay. Ocean currents.
Okay.
Now we have the ocean currents. Ocean currents we already discussed. Okay. So very in brief I'll tell. Ocean currents. Okay. This is the equator. Here we have the polar regions, North Pole and South Pole. So how oceans play in distribution of temperature, how they affect. So we have discussed this one in the hydrosphere as well. The equatorial currents, the warm currents. The warm currents, they transfer heat from equatorial regions towards the polar regions. They transfer heat from equatorial regions towards the polar region. These are the warm currents. Warm currents transfer heat from equatorial regions towards the polar regions. And cold currents, they transfer cold waters from polar regions towards the equatorial regions. That's how they affect the temperature. That's how they affect the temperature. We have also seen the Gulf Stream. Gulf Stream is a warm current. Because of this, the east coast of America, that is here we have the Florida and all, they have little bit moderate temperature because of this Gulf Stream. As well, we have seen as it reaches the Europe, west coast of Europe is ice free because of this Gulf Stream. This is how it impacts the temperature there. So warm currents, they decrease the temperature as they move towards the polar regions, and cold currents, they increase the temperature as they move towards the equatorial region. This is how they affect the temperature. So they transfer warm waters towards the polar region, and cold currents, they transfer cold waters from polar regions towards the equatorial region. This is how they affect the temperature of the land. They affect the temperature. So ocean currents are clear.
Sir, have you taken attendance?
Attendance, I will take. Time is there. Okay. Now the winds. Winds. How the winds affect. Okay. How the winds affect. So if winds are flowing, sea we have, here we have land. Okay, if winds are flowing from the sea towards the land, they are called as onshore winds. They are called as onshore winds. It happens mainly during the day and summers. It happens mainly during the day and summers. So what happens? Land get heated during the day or in summers. The sea is being more cold as compared to land during day or summer. So air above land, it rises up. Now its place is taken by cold winds that is flowing from the sea. And this is how climate here becomes moderate, and it brings rain as well. This we discuss in next chapter. More in detail we discuss in next chapter. So this air, it is moist above the sea. It brings moisture, humidity as well. It rises here and rainfall happens. And because of this onshore winds, temperature here decreases. Or during night or in winters, mainly what happens? Sea will be more hotter as compared to the land. Why? Because sea get heated very slowly, as well loses heat very slowly. And land, it get heated very fast, as well loses heat very fast. So during winters or night, it becomes more cold as compared to the sea. So this time, air above it rises. And here the dense air is there, cold winds, it moves towards the sea. These are called offshore winds. And these from sea to land, they are called onshore winds. These are called offshore winds. Now, these are cold winds, cold and dry winds that flow from the continents towards the sea. Okay, and more winds are there. For example, monsoon winds, you all know. They bring rain to the Indian continent. As well, there are winds from continents. That is, high pressure develops in China, somewhere in Mongolia, there's Siberia. And those winds, they flow towards India. They flow into China, and on their path, wherever they flow, they decrease the temperature. They are very cold winds. From the interiors of the continents, they flow, and they are very cold winds. Now, because of Himalaya, these winds are being protected here. They don't flow in India. If there would have been no Himalayas, we would have very, very severe cold winters. Okay. As well, you have seen the western disturbances from the Mediterranean. The winds are coming during winter. Because of that, sometimes some rain happens in India. Okay, there's those all we will discuss more detail in next chapter. Have you understood the winds? That is the cold winds, if they flow from interior of the continents. So on their path, wherever they flow, they will decrease the temperature. They will impact the temperature. They will affect the temperature. Okay. And Some local winds are as well there, like foehn. Mainly in France it is happening. Foehn winds are there, foehn winds. So air rising air are always warmer. Now on the other side, leeward side, these are cold and dry. These are foehn winds. It's not in more in detail. They are local winds. We'll discuss more in details. I'll give you an example of Lu. Lu, you all know. Very hot, dust-laden winds are there. In summers, mainly during April and May we face. In the Indo-Gangetic Plain, Pakistan as well, we face these low winds. Because of this, winds temperature rises. Lu or Kali Baisakh we know. In Odisha or in those areas, in Bangladesh and those, we have Kali Baisakh, that is, as the monsoon sets there, the winds which are coming towards the moisture-laden winds are there. They are called as Kali Baisakh. Nor'wester as well they are called because they are coming from northwest. North winds, and they are the thunderstorms. Like as the monsoon is coming to India, it brings rain, heavy thunder. Those winds are called as Kali Baisakh. Mainly in Odisha and Bangladesh, those all regions. Okay. So beside these winds we'll discuss, and they are like local winds, that is concentrated over a small area. Like Lu, it is local wind, mainly in the Indo-Gangetic Plains. Kali Baisakh, they are local winds concentrated over a small area. Similarly, Mistral, Lu, Kali Baisakh, Sirocco, Foehn, they are the winds, local winds. Okay, clouds and rainfall. How the clouds and rainfall affect the temperature? Whenever rainfall happens, the temperature decreases. In summer, we all face first the Lu. Whenever rainfall happens, we get some relief because temperature decreases because of rainfall. And clouds, okay, if during the summer clouds are there, it reflects back the heat from the sun or absorbs the heat, and that's how we feel some relief on the ground, that is temperature decreases. Or in winter, what happens whenever there are clouds? Whatever heat is being released from the earth, it gets trapped between the clouds and the surface of the earth, and there is an increase in temperature a little bit. So winter won't be very severe on the day when there is clouds in the sky, because clouds act as a blanket so that heat is trapped between the earth and the clouds. So during winters, if clouds are there, we don't feel much cold. Okay. So clouds and this are clear, rainfall.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
Sir, why there are no clouds at night?
No clouds at night. Do we have clouds during the day?
Sir, there are clouds at night also.
Sir, you
They
said that. Sir, you said that at daytime we are having clouds and at night we are not having.
No, I haven't said like that. Okay, see, listen again. Okay. I'm saying during summer and winter, I'm differentiating between them. So during summer, if clouds are there, most of the heat is reflected back. It is absorbed by the cloud or it is reflected back. So we feel relief. There is a temperature decrease. Okay. And in winters, what happens? When we have the clouds, the heat radiated from the earth, it gets trapped between the clouds and the earth. And clouds act as a blanket, and therefore there is an increase in temperature by some amount, and we feel relief. Okay. So on the day or the nights, when it is cloudy in winters, we don't. Mainly at night, it acts as a blanket. Okay. During the day, what happens? Sun rays are coming. If there are no clouds, it will heat. In winter, it will heat the ground. But at night, if clouds are there, so at night, what will happen? Heat is getting radiated from the earth more. There is no coming in heat, but earth keeps on radiating. So this heat gets trapped. So winter nights won't be very severe. If it is cloudy winter night, it gets trapped between the clouds and the earth surface. Heat radiated from the earth, it gets trapped between the clouds and the surface. And that's how there won't be very severe winters or nights. Now this is clear?
Yes, sir.
Sorry. Now slope of the land. Okay. Now slope of the land. How the slope of the land? Okay. Okay. Here the sea. Now the area lying near the sea. These are the coastal areas mainly. Coastal areas near the sea. In those areas, the winter won't be very severe. That is, in winter, temperature won't rise much, won't decrease much. Okay. There will be less increase in temperature. In winters, temperature is less, but as we move in the continents, winter temperature decreases. For example, if it is here in winters, it is in coastal areas, it is 15 degrees Celsius. Okay. And in interior of the continents, it's around 5 degrees Celsius. Okay. So here the winters are more severe as compared to the coastal areas. Okay. Now, in summers, what will happen? Here will be less increase in temperature. So take it as 25 degrees Celsius. Okay. Here in summers, it can be up to 40 degrees Celsius. So you can see the variation of annual range of temperature. The lowest temperature of winters recorded is 15 degrees Celsius. And in summers, the highest temperature recorded is 25 degrees Celsius. Here in winters, the lowest temperature is 5 degrees Celsius. Here, the highest temperature is 40 degrees Celsius in summer. So you can see the difference. Range of temperature, how it is varying. Here the temperature is varying between 15 degrees Celsius to 25 degrees Celsius. Very less variation in temperature, very less change, very less range of temperature, annual range of temperature. Similarly here, high range of temperature. So annual range of temperature is around 35 degrees Celsius. And here only 10 degrees Celsius. So there is more variation of temperature as we move away from the water bodies. Okay, this is clear. Now, okay, here the slope of the land. Here it is discussed. One example, Himalayas. This I already discussed. That is, Himalayas prevent the cold winds from the interior of the continents. The cold winds which are coming from the Siberia, from the interiors of the China, as they are. Okay, just 1 minute I'll take. So as they reach the Himalayas, they are offsetted from the Himalayas. That's why we don't have the severe winter in India. Okay, inversion of temperature we discuss. Direction of the land we will also discuss in next chapter. Okay, try to find out the question answers. We will discuss the question answers as well in next lecture. Okay. Okay, any doubt you have?
Sir, which chapter you will ask in oral test?
Okay, whatever we have studied, what